Nothing has had as much impact on internet culture in the recent decade as much as the Backrooms. And much like SCPs, it is an open idea. As such, we were given memes and images and stories told through videos of varying quality of good to bad.
Boy, what the hell, boy.
But one thing that isn't quite perfected on this piece of digital folklore yet are the video games. And it's very telling, especially when you go to Steam and use the search terms Backrooms. Your eyes are swarmed and violated by shovelware, trying to cash in on a property that they didn't come up with in the first place. And one thing that I found out is that they are all the same. Who would have thought them out? Also, when I bought this game, for some reason, I already unlocked an achievement for walking 20,000 meters. I didn't even play it. I only bought a bunch of those games for a bit in the beginning. And just like everything on the internet, it began as a meme on 4chan and slowly crept its way through the mud pipes of the mainstream. Reddit. It depicts endless hallways of piss yellow wallpaper, the ground, a moist carpet radiating the stink of age, probably due to all the piss, and unsuspecting victims found their way in by no clip and blah blah blah. They left SV cheats on blah blah. You could just watch Wendigoon's video on it, he pretty much covers everything. With the Backrooms now laid under the icky eye of the normal people, its concept earned itself a plethora of fan content. I find that the Backrooms as a media is boring to play, yet intriguing to watch. Some games are with charm and others are genuinely fun to play, for all the wrong reasons. I think the issue with backroom games is that the core gameplay is walking, and if I wanted to do that, I could just go outside and Backroom games aren't fun. Ultimately, the backrooms are a gauntlet of patience, and I don't have any of this, so let's get through this. Chop, chop, chop. The game begins with copyrighted music, so that ship of ad revenue to buy an endless supply of Markiplier OnlyFans subscriptions has sailed. The gameplay is simple. You walk, and for some reason you lean with the Y and X keys. If that doesn't sound confusing, then chances are you don't have hypermobility, you're just a skinwalker.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Sometimes random sounds will play to build suspense and to make you think something is gonna happen or that you're being chased. This is really cool because the game overall is just really quiet, and any sound that occurs, you will hear and begin to pay attention to, especially when 99.9% of the audio is just... you begin to tune out. Developers should gaslight their players more! Though the game does this too much without any actual threat. It's just a big nothing burger. There was this one bit where the vents were opened and that was pretty spooky, but then again, no actual threat was present. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, I'm opening your Unity game and stealing the source code. And honestly, the actual scares are just the flat out goofy and funny. I got lost. 10 out of 10. The Backrooms has a lot of rooms. Maybe too many rooms. What's going on with these Backrooms games? They're all survival horrors, babe. Okay. Hey! When I saw the heads-up display in this game, I thought it looked very familiar to the previous one that we just did, so I checked the developer's portfolio and it's not the same person. However, I think he may be a Romanian. Escape the Backrooms is probably the best one you're ever getting, if you have friends.
Oh my God.
If you don't have friends, you should refund this game and use the money to buy some. The issue with the Backrooms genre is that the core gameplay is walking. Backrooms games may not be fun, but being able to mess around and not take it seriously is what makes it enjoyable. And that's multiplied when friends are in the equation.
Oh no. Oh my God.
It's short, comedically janky, fast-paced, and actually has a different gimmick or objective focus on each level. It adds to the gamer's Mountain Dew brewing pot for peak indie horror multiplayer entertainment. Come to think of it, I've never played a co-op horror game and actually been scared. Every time I end up laughing my goofy ass off. It's just fun to dick around and be a patronizing prick to the ghost and phasmophobia. That's all games have to be. Fun. For this one, I give it an 11 out of 10. Play it with friends if you're feeling a little silly. This game apparently was made in 6 weeks. I found this out by going into the... Whoa, okay, I thought this game fucked up my desktop at first. So it's probably the first Backrooms game with identity so far. It plays into the found footage theme that a lot of ARGs are known for. How the footage was found, I don't know. And somebody went through the effort of ripping VHS tapes onto an MP4 file in 1998? That's impossible. Please add this to the gaming sins counter. You may think the developer had the genius idea of adding pens so you can keep track of where you've been before, but you'd be wrong. You actually booted up a drawing software. Why do you think there's so many pens in the first place? More buzzy noise. What do the voices say this time? And under the sheer weight of your degenerate crimes against the normal, the whole place begins to collapse as the foundational skeleton becomes exposed as this silent alien nightmare. Remember kids, if you're different, instead of taking prescribed medication, maybe try becoming a Twitter artist. This one is one of the goofy ones, a VR title that for some bizarre reason takes Boneworks and makes it horror. You jump around like you're on a pogo stick, if you ever so slightly touch something, you screech to a halt, and obstacles are just frustrating to get around, which can make it annoying to move sometimes, especially when you're being chased by these green screen looking ass monsters. I liked this section here, Terror Hotel. It gave me some real Shining vibes. The halls, empty, the receptionist, nowhere to be found. All the while, the music reverberates, creating an otherworldly atmosphere. And then I have a gun? Huh? Ironically, it feels like a fanfictional take on the Backrooms, but a hound. Even though the Backrooms is entirely built on fanfiction. What I mean by that is, what the fuck are these enemies, and why do I have a gun? In the world of horror, the spooky is removed the instant you hand me my Second Amendment right. Oh, I now have the law on my side. I tried seeing if there are guns in the Backrooms universe, but instead I stumbled onto roleplay. Maybe try roleplaying getting a GF. I mean, if you're going to give me a weapon, why not make it look makeshift? Have it be made up of bottles, pipes, and wood scrappily put together by previous victims of the Backrooms. I mean, you have the crafting bench, so this would canonically make sense. Oh, fuck yeah! Aside from the goofy boy, what the hell boy moments, this game could be spooky, so it's best you keep your guard up. Apparently there are over 90 plus levels, which, I mean, come on. There's so much I have stuff to do, like... The community is strong, with weekly updates, active devs, and a great community, and a true love for the Backrooms, and a fun Discord server where you help shape the gap?
You what?
It's more than just endless hallways. We have a gun. In spite of how dumb it is, it's actually fun to play. Probably because it is a widely different spin on the big BG. Wait, that's wrong. That's the wrong acronym. It is just a little rough around the edges. Like, why do I die in one hit? Why am I stuck? Why are the monsters no-clipping? Among Us? Among Us! Yeah, half of my gameplay was this. Don't get this one mixed up with survival in the Backrooms. Trust me, the actual game here has just as much creativity as the title. The Backrooms survival bears the most encouraging replay value because it poses itself as a dungeon crawler roguelike that records every run in what they call the obituary, which is just a cute cover-up for a government conspiracy. In this game, there are classes that have specific attributes, and if you die, you start the whole game over. In fact, this game is realistic. If you die in the game, it'll put so much power into your computer's power supply, it basically becomes a dirty bomb. This is probably one of the most stylistic ones out of the list, even though it uses these stylistically inconsistent models as enemies that play stock sound effects when they chase you. Need I say more? Also, an open letter to indie horror devs. Can we stop flashing up images with stingers? Just leave that shit for the Slendermans and the Jeff the Killers. Even though it is one of the objectively better ones, it still falls into this trap of becoming a drag, which then led me to this big brain moment. You can make a faithful adaptation true to the whole concept of the Backrooms, and it still not be fun. These flaws are so big that they very quickly become a slog to play. These games have these huge levels, and well, so many of them too. Why not make bigger levels, but instead smaller quantity. That way it's more controlled and you can fit more content in. If you have a gargantuan catalog of floors, make the rooms smaller, shorter so that they still contain an amount of content. That's partly the reason I enjoyed Escape the Backrooms the most. Short levels that have stuff to do, all the while retaining the trademarked liminal feeling. Oh well, maybe I'm just really good at walking around in circles and getting lost. Mommy and Daddy always said I was special though I don't know what they meant, so that's left up to interpretation. Over time, however, I began to tangle with the backroom survival. Traversing to new floors with otherworldly environments were a treat, and it was nice to see something like an open forest, this body of flesh, and Tim Allen. In addition, I wish someone would come along and make a Backrooms game with a story. The Backroom Survival tries this with its dialogue box, but unfortunately, they're the same in every run. The same reactions, same words, same prompts that say a lot but don't develop much story. Hey, future me here, but whilst editing, I found this game called The Backworld. It's kind of like a JRPG inspired by the Backrooms, and I think Earthbound, and it looks really cute. I thought it would be worth mentioning here because it would be unfair to have expressed this want of mine and to not actually present one that I found. So yeah, on with the video. Now, this is a very mean comparison I'm going to make, but this is my channel and I aim to normalize bullying. But in Hades, on every new run, you would get a fresh piece of dialogue that furthers the story. It will never or rarely repeat and will even consider your previous runs. In addition, this game misses the opportunity of having your previous runs leave a mark in a fresher run. I'm talking about the stuff that Zombie did when you die. You would leave behind some resources and come across your corpse in the next run. And I think there's room for that in this game, especially with the obituary system. 8 out of 10. Good Hades run, guys. I can't take more of these Backrooms game, man. Why there's so many? They're all the same. I need something different, man. Where are the front rooms? I mean, Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion was technically the OG Backrooms game. Internet creepypasta video games will always be on this tightrope of quality because they derive from media that was never considered to be played in the first place. So it's harder to translate these concepts into a video game and to also make it fun. I mean, you may enjoy these games. They are pretty cheap anyway, so try them out if you like. After all, you have all the time in the world down here. You might as well get comfortable.